I never thought I'd be writing this, but I'm still in shock about what happened at my sister's wedding last weekend. I'm Sean, 29M, and my sister Sarah, 27F, was getting married to her fiancé Shane, 28M. They'd been together for 3 years, and I was thrilled for them. Shane seemed like a great guy, and he made Sarah happier than I'd ever seen her. To give you some background, Sarah and I have always been close. We grew up in a small town in Ohio, where everyone knew everyone else's business. Our parents, both teachers, instilled in us the importance of honesty and family. Sarah was always the more outgoing one, involved in every school club and activity, while I was quieter, more focused on my studies. Despite our differences, we always had each other's backs. When Sarah met Shane at a mutual friend's barbecue 3 years ago, I could tell it was different from her previous relationships. Shane was kind, funny, and shared Sarah's love for adventure. They clicked instantly, and within 6 months, they were talking about moving in together. I remember helping them move into their first apartment, a tiny one-bedroom place that barely fit their combined possessions. But they were so happy, it didn't matter that they had to squeeze past each other in the narrow hallway. As the bride's brother, I was heavily involved in the wedding planning. Sarah asked me to be her man of honor, a role I was honored to accept. I helped with everything from venue selection to taste testing cakes. Shane appreciated my involvement too, often joking that he was glad to have a man on the inside to help navigate all the wedding chaos. The months leading up to the wedding were a whirlwind of activity. Sarah and Shane decided on a romantic outdoor ceremony at a local vineyard. I spent countless hours helping them choose everything from the perfect shade of blue for the bridesmaids' dresses to the right mix of flowers for the centerpieces. It was exhausting, but seeing how happy it made Sarah made it all worth it. The day before the wedding, I was running around making sure all the last-minute details were in order. I checked on the flowers, made sure the DJ had the right playlist, and even helped some out-of-town guests find their hotel. Everything was going smoothly, and I was feeling pretty proud of myself. That evening, we had a small rehearsal dinner at our parents' house. It was a casual affair, just close family and the wedding party. Sarah and Shane were glowing with happiness, stealing kisses when they thought no one was looking. Our mom made her famous lasagna, and we all sat around sharing stories and laughing. It felt like the perfect start to what should have been the happiest weekend of Sarah's life. The morning of the wedding arrived, and I woke up early to start getting things ready. I helped set up the ceremony space, checked in with the catering staff, and made sure the groomsmen knew where they needed to be. As the guests started arriving, I felt a mix of excitement and nerves. This was it, my little sister was getting married. About an hour before the ceremony was set to begin, my mom asked me to check on Sarah. I knocked on the door of the bridal suite, and when I entered, I found Sarah sitting alone, still in her robe. Her hair and makeup were done, but she hadn't put on her dress yet. I immediately sensed something was wrong. "Hey, what's going on?" I asked, sitting down next to her. "You're not dressed yet. Is everything okay?" Sarah looked at me with tears in her eyes. "I don't know if I can do this, Sean," she whispered. I was shocked. Sarah had been so excited about the wedding, counting down the days for months. "What do you mean? Are you just feeling nervous?" She shook her head. "It's not just nerves. I think I made a mistake." My heart sank. "What kind of mistake?" Sarah took a deep breath and said, "I slept with someone else last night." I felt like the world had stopped spinning. "What? Who? When?" She started crying harder. "It was at my bachelorette party last weekend. You remember Tom, 29M, my ex from college? He was bartending at the club we went to. We started talking, and one thing led to another. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Sarah and Tom had dated for 2 years in college, and their breakup had been messy. Tom had cheated on Sarah with her roommate, leaving her heartbroken. It had taken her months to get over him, and I thought she was long past those feelings. "Does Shane know?" I asked, already dreading the answer. Sarah shook her head. "I haven't told him. I don't know what to do, Sean. I love Shane, I really do. But seeing Tom brought back all these old feelings, and I'm so confused." I sat there in stunned silence, trying to process everything. Part of me wanted to tell Shane immediately, he deserved to know the truth before marrying Sarah. But another part of me hesitated. There were 200 guests out there, waiting for a wedding. Shane's family had flown in from across the country. Could I really blow everything up moments before the ceremony? "Sarah, you have to tell Shane," I finally said. "He needs to know before he marries you." She grabbed my arm, panic in her eyes. "No. Please, Sean, I can't. Not now. I'll tell him after the honeymoon, I promise. I just need some time to figure things out." I shook my head. "This isn't right, Sarah. Shane deserves to know. Please," she begged. "Just give me a few days. I'll sort everything out, I swear. Don't ruin this day for everyone." I stood up, conflicted. "I need some air," I muttered, heading for the door. As I stepped into the hallway, I nearly ran into Shane. He was grinning from ear to ear, looking handsome in his tuxedo. "Hey, man," he said, clapping me on the shoulder. "How's my bride doing? Is she ready?" I froze, not knowing what to say. Shane's happy face made my stomach churn with guilt. How could I destroy his world just minutes before he was supposed to say I do? In that moment, I made a decision I'm not sure I'll ever forgive myself for. I forced a smile and said, "She's just finishing up. Wedding day jitters, you know?" Shane laughed. "Tell her to hurry up. I can't wait to marry her." As he walked away, I felt like the worst brother, and the worst friend, in the world. The ceremony started, and I watched as Sarah walked down the aisle, a forced smile on her face. Shane beamed at her, completely unaware of the betrayal. They said their vows, exchanged rings, and were pronounced husband and wife. Throughout the reception, I could barely eat or drink. Every time I saw Shane's happy face, I felt sick to my stomach. I kept thinking about all the times Shane had confided in me about how much he loved Sarah, how he couldn't wait to start their life together. And now, I was complicit in this massive lie. As the best man, I had to give a speech. I stood up, my hands shaking as I held the microphone. I looked out at the crowd, at Shane's beaming face, at Sarah's forced smile, and I felt like a fraud. I managed to get through the speech, talking about love and commitment, all the while knowing the truth that could shatter everything. The rest of the reception passed in a blur. I danced with Sarah during the sibling dance, and I could feel how tense she was. "Are you okay?" I whispered. She just nodded, her eyes avoiding mine. It's been a week now, and Sarah and Shane are on their honeymoon. As far as I know, she still hasn't told him the truth. I'm torn between loyalty to my sister and feeling like Shane deserves to know. Should I have stopped the wedding? Should I tell Shane now? I don't know what to do, and the guilt is eating me alive. Every time my phone rings, I jump, thinking it might be Sarah finally coming clean, or Shane calling to confront me. I can't sleep, I can't eat. I keep replaying that moment in the bridal suite, wondering what would have happened if I had made a different choice. I know our parents would be devastated if they knew. They raised us to be honest, to do the right thing. What would they think if they knew I had helped Sarah keep this secret? I'm at a loss. Do I continue to keep this secret and hope Sarah eventually tells Shane the truth? Or do I take matters into my own hands and tell Shane myself? Either way, I feel like I'm betraying someone I care about. How did I end up in this impossible situation? Update 1. It's been a month since my last post, and a lot has happened. I appreciate all the advice and support from everyone who commented. I've been grappling with this situation, and I finally decided I couldn't keep quiet any longer. 2 weeks ago, Sarah and Shane returned from their honeymoon. They seemed happy, posting pictures of their trip on social media and gushing about married life. I tried to give Sarah the benefit of the doubt, hoping she had told Shane the truth as she promised. I invited Sarah out for coffee, determined to find out if she had come clean. We met at the little cafe where we used to study together in high school. As soon as I saw her, I could tell something was off. She seemed nervous and fidgety, nothing like her usual confident self. "So," I said, trying to keep my voice calm, "how was the honeymoon?" Sarah smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "It was great. Shane and I had an amazing time. We went snorkeling, tried all these exotic foods." I let her ramble on for a bit, describing their adventures. But I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Finally, I took a deep breath and asked the question that had been eating at me for weeks. "Did you tell him?" Her face fell, and I knew the answer before she spoke. "I couldn't do it, Sean. We were having such a wonderful time, and I couldn't bring myself to ruin everything." I felt a surge of anger. "Sarah, you promised. Shane deserves to know the truth." She started crying, mascara running down her cheeks. I know. But I love him so much. It was a stupid mistake, and it will never happen again. Can't we just forget about it?" I shook my head. "No, we can't. This isn't fair to Shane, and it's not fair to me to keep this secret." Sarah begged me not to say anything, but I knew I couldn't stay silent any longer. I told her she had 24 hours to tell Shane herself, or I would do it. The next day was one of the longest of my life. I kept checking my phone, hoping to hear from Sarah or Shane. But as the hours ticked by, there was nothing but silence. Finally, just as I was about to call Shane myself, my phone rang. It was Shane. His voice was shaky, and I could tell he had been crying. "Is it true?" he asked. "Did Sarah really cheat on me?" My heart sank. "Yes," I said quietly. "I'm so sorry, Shane." He was silent for a long moment. Then he asked, "Did you know? Before the wedding?" I couldn't lie to him. "Yes," I admitted. "Sarah told me the morning of the wedding. I'm sorry I didn't tell you then. I made a terrible mistake." Shane's voice turned cold. "You're right. You did make a mistake. Both of you betrayed me." He hung up, and I felt awful. I knew I had done the right thing by telling the truth, but I also knew I had waited far too long. Over the next few days, I tried to reach out to both Sarah and Shane, but neither of them would respond to my calls or messages. I heard through family that Shane had moved out of their apartment and was staying with a friend. Sarah finally called me a week later, sobbing. She said Shane was filing for an annulment and wanted nothing to do with her. She blamed me for ruining her marriage. "You should have kept your mouth shut," she yelled. "We could have worked through this." I tried to reason with her. "Sarah, this is not my fault. You're the one who cheated, and you're the one who lied. Shane deserved to know the truth." She hung up on me, and we haven't spoken since. The fallout has been intense. Our parents are devastated, trying to understand how everything fell apart so quickly. They don't know the full story yet. Sarah hasn't told them about the cheating, and I'm not sure it's my place to do so. Shane's family is furious. His sister, who I had become friends with during the wedding planning, sent me a scathing message accusing me of ruining her brother's life. I wanted to explain, to tell her that I was just trying to do the right thing, but I knew it wouldn't make a difference. I'm still struggling with guilt over not speaking up sooner, but I know I did the right thing in the end. Shane didn't deserve to be lied to, and living with that secret was tearing me apart. I've been replaying the events of the past month in my head, wondering if there was anything I could have done differently. Should I have told Shane the moment Sarah confessed to me? Should I have stopped the wedding? Or was telling him now, even though it was late, still the best option? I'm giving both Sarah and Shane space right now, but I hope that eventually, they'll both be able to forgive me for my part in this mess. I know it might take a long time, if it happens at all, but I have to believe that honesty will win out in the end. In the meantime, I'm trying to focus on work and my own life. It's hard, knowing that my relationship with my sister might never be the same, and that I've lost a friend in Shane. But I'm trying to remind myself that I ultimately did the right thing, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. Update 2. It's been 3 months since my last update, and things have only gotten more complicated. I thought telling the truth would make everything better, but it seems to have caused even more problems. Shane went through with the annulment, and it was finalized about a month ago. He's cut off all contact with our family, which I understand. Sarah is devastated and has been staying with our parents. She's still not speaking to me, blaming me for the end of her marriage. What I didn't expect was the fallout with the rest of our family. When everything came out, opinions were split. Our parents were initially angry with Sarah for cheating, but now they're upset with me for airing our dirty laundry and destroying Sarah's chance at happiness. Our extended family is divided too. Some relatives think I did the right thing by telling Shane the truth, while others believe I should have kept quiet and let Sarah and Shane work things out on their own. It's brought up old family tensions and rivalries that I thought were long buried. Last week, things came to a head at a family dinner. I hadn't planned on going, but our mom insisted, saying we needed to work things out as a family. It was incredibly awkward from the moment I arrived. Sarah wouldn't even look at me, and our parents were clearly walking on eggshells. The tension in the room was palpable as we sat down to eat. I could feel everyone's eyes on me, judging, questioning. Sarah sat at the opposite end of the table, her eyes red-rimmed and puffy. She looked like she hadn't been sleeping well, and a pang of guilt hit me. Even though I knew I had done the right thing, seeing her so broken was hard. About halfway through dinner, our Aunt Linda, 52F, brought up the elephant in the room. "I think it's time we all talked about what happened," she said, putting down her fork. "Sean, don't you think you owe your sister an apology?" I was shocked. An apology? For telling the truth? Sarah finally looked at me, her eyes full of anger. "You ruined my life, Sean. Shane and I could have worked through this if you had just kept your mouth shut." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Sarah, you cheated on Shane. You lied to him. How is any of this my fault?" Our mom jumped in, her voice strained. "Sean, sometimes it's better to keep family matters private. You didn't have to tell Shane. Sarah made a mistake, but she deserves a chance to be happy." I stood up, my chair scraping loudly against the floor. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Sarah cheats on her fiancé, lies about it, and somehow I'm the bad guy for telling the truth? This is insane. Our dad tried to calm things down. "Now, let's all take a deep breath. We're family, we should be supporting each other, not fighting." But it was too late. Years of family dynamics and unspoken tensions came bubbling to the surface. Our cousin Mark, 35M, chimed in, "You always were a goody two-shoes, Sean. Always had to do the right thing, didn't you?" I left the dinner, ignoring my family's calls for me to come back. Since then, I've been avoiding their calls and messages. I know I did the right thing by telling Shane the truth, but now I feel I know I did the right thing by telling Shane the truth, but now I feel like I've lost my entire family in the process. The days following the disastrous family dinner have been lonely. I've thrown myself into work, staying late at the office just to avoid going home to an empty apartment. My friends have been supportive, but they don't fully understand the complexity of the situation. I'm starting to wonder if I should have just kept quiet and let Sarah and Shane figure things out on their own. But then I think about how unfair that would have been to Shane, and I know I couldn't have lived with myself if I had stayed silent. I've tried reaching out to Shane, hoping to at least salvage our friendship, but he's made it clear he wants nothing to do with me or my family. I can't blame him, but it hurts to lose someone I considered a brother. Sarah has been posting cryptic messages on social media, hinting at her pain and struggles. Part of me wants to reach out to her, to try and mend our relationship, but I'm not sure she's ready to hear from me yet. Our parents have been leaving voicemails, alternating between guilt-tripping me and pleading with me to come home and work things out. I'm not sure how to move forward with them when they seem unable to understand why I did what I did. I'm at a loss for what to do now. I don't want to lose my family, but I also can't pretend that what Sarah did was okay. How do I move forward from here? How do I balance my principles with my desire to maintain family relationships? Is there any way to make this right, or have I irreparably damaged my family ties by choosing honesty over loyalty? Update 3, it's been 6 months since my last update, and I wanted to share some final thoughts on this whole situation. The past half year has been a roller coaster of emotions, but I feel like I'm finally starting to find some peace with everything that's happened. After the disastrous family dinner, I decided to take a step back from my family for a while. I needed time to process everything and figure out where I stood. During this time, I focused on my work and spent time with friends who supported me. I even started seeing a therapist to help me work through my feelings of guilt and confusion. About 2 months ago, I ran into Shane at a local coffee shop. It was awkward at first, but we ended up talking for over an hour. He thanked me for telling him the truth, even though it was painful. He said he was glad he found out when he did, rather than years down the line when they might have had kids or built a life together. Shane's words helped me feel more confident in my decision to tell the truth. It reinforced that even though the aftermath was difficult, it was the right thing to do. As for my family, things are slowly improving. Sarah reached out to me about a month ago. We met for coffee, and for the first time since the wedding, we really talked. She apologized for blaming me and admitted that she was wrong to cheat on Shane and lie about it. She's been going to therapy too, working on understanding why she made the choices she did. We're not back to where we were before, but we're talking again, which is a start. My parents have also come around. They apologized for pressuring me to keep quiet and acknowledged that Shane deserved to know the truth. We had a long, emotional conversation where we all expressed our feelings openly. It was hard, but it felt like a necessary step in healing our family relationships. We're working on rebuilding our trust and understanding, but it's going to take time. This whole experience has taught me a lot about the importance of honesty and integrity, even when it's difficult. I've learned that sometimes doing the right thing can have painful consequences, but in the long run, it's always better than living with a lie. I've also learned the importance of setting boundaries, even with family. I love my family, but I've realized that I need to stay true to my own values and principles, even if that sometimes puts me at odds with them. As for Shane, we're not close friends anymore, but we're on good terms. He's started dating someone new, and I'm genuinely happy for him. Sarah is still single, focusing on herself and her career. She seems happier and more grounded than she has in years. I'm grateful for all the support and advice I've received throughout this journey. It's been a tough road, but I'm hopeful that my family and I can move forward and learn from this experience. I know there will still be tough days ahead, but I feel better equipped to handle them now. To anyone out there facing a similar dilemma, I would say this: always choose honesty, even when it's hard. The short-term pain is worth the long-term peace of mind. And remember, it's okay to prioritize your own mental health and well-being, even if it means stepping back from family for a while.